Alrighty, gang, welcome to another edition of Coach Brad's Mic'd Up. Got a safety bar squat going today. We got to get our stuff together, get the head screwed on straight. I just hit this for 315 pounds for a single, went up to 320, and it'll be tough. Got a 9, RPE 9. That's 1 rep in reserve, so this is about a 2 rep max load with this bar. This bar's 65 pounds. Let's get it. Come on. This is like a high bar squat, so it's a little bit different than my typical low bar squat. We did it. I don't think that was an RPE 9. I think that was a 9.5. I don't know if I had another one. Either way though, we're calling it a day. So now we move on to bench press. So hit 2 heavy singles with that. Now, the reason I'm using the safety bar squat this week, that arm's just been bugging me just a tiny bit. I mean, it's not prohibiting me from squatting. I could do it today with my regular competition low bar squat. Don't feel it at all, but I'm like, it's a deload week. Let's just use the safety bar. The safety bar is easier on the arms. Let's go that route. Be safe and gear up for full volume and competition squatting next week. So when you're using the safety bar, for those of you who have never used a safety bar before, there is a right way to put the bar on, and I've learned this the hard way. So let me go over that real quick. As you could tell, I was squatting this way. And when you put the safety bar up there, you essentially want those handles facing outward. So just kind of remember, you want the handles facing the way or pointing toward the way that you are going to be squatting. You don't want it to go the other way. And so what I mean by that is you don't want the bar, if you're squatting this direction, you don't want the handles to be that way. Because if you rack it the other way, or if I was to squat, say facing that way, it feels awful. You want them kind of angled away from you, facing the same way that you are squatting. This is a 65-pound bar. As you can see, I labeled it there. Got our 2 singles. Now it's time to tear it down. I'm gonna move over here. We're gonna start benching. All right, so I know I've covered my entire warm-up on squat, but I don't think I've covered my entire warm-up on bench press. I warm up the same way every single time, and I warm up just like this on competition day. Essentially the same loads. So here we're starting out with just 115 pounds, just like competition setup. We'll just do about 4 or 5 repetitions, just like competition execution with the pause on the chest. And then basically we'll just work our way up, dropping repetitions down each and every time. Today we are also doing a heavy single on bench press, nothing more. Got to save a little energy for deadlifting later on, where I'll be hitting a heavy single and then doing back downs with 1 minute rest in between. This is another little hack for providing traction on a slippery bench like this. So if you have a couple of bands that you can wrap lengthwise on your bench, it gives you a lot of traction, so you can drive with your feet like you should and not be sliding into the bench while you are, driving with your feet. So usually competition racks, ER racks and Texas strength racks, they're kind of textured. They have a little bit of texture to them, so they provide better traction. But this one here is just smooth as can be, and I slide in every single time. So as you can see, we've gone up in weight just a little bit here. We're just gonna do 3 or 4, same thing, competition style. Get my feet positioned so my butt can't come up. All right, and all is well. Now we're gonna go to 195 pounds, probably 190 pounds, I guess I should say. Just 2 or 3 reps, all these, just like gonna perform them in a meet with the paws on the chest, butt stays down, feet are wide and kind of somewhat out so I can push and not get my butt up. I think we're gonna call that good there. Conserve energy. We're gonna go to 210 pounds. I got these wrist wraps for free. Somebody just wanted me to test them out. Riptoned.com. So I'm gonna give them a go. Okay, so last warm up. My plan is for meet day to open up about 102.5 to 105 kilos. So we're looking at about 225 to 230. And this is 225. The opener on meet day should basically be equal to your last warm up. So that's essentially what I do, is make this roughly my opener. Get my feet in position. Just like so. I can push as hard as I can and not get my butt up. Clearly, that was not a RPE 9. In other vlogs, I've done about that load for 4 repetitions, which means a single is about an RPE 7, 3 reps in reserve. Because I've done it for 4, I just did 1. So that means there was 3 reps in reserve. Now we're gonna move to about what's gonna be my opener. But again, the target today is an RPE 9, which usually, for me, equates to what looks and feels like a slow grindy repetition. So that's our goal for today. If it's a slow grindy repetition, that usually means I've got 1 rep in reserve, especially on deadlift. If it's a slow grindy repetition, I usually have 1 rep in reserve. If I can get a load for 4 repetitions, in that case 225 I can get for 4, and I go up 10 pounds, it usually drops me down 2 reps. So that's why I went up 10 pounds, because that means if I do a single with this, I should be able to get 2, but I'm gonna stop because I wanna get 1 rep in reserve. Well, my goodness, that felt great. What in the heck? That felt so good, I'm probably gonna have to go up 10 pounds again. That was 235. I think we'll just trade this for a 10, and we'll go to 245. Because at the meet last year, the 2024 USAPL Masters World Cup, I benched 242.5 and hurt myself. And this is 245. And I have done more on this training block, but when I did do more, when I did 260 pounds, which was a few weeks ago, I was weighing 172 pounds. I'm not weighing 172 pounds right now. I'm weighing 168 pounds. All right, we're gonna clean off the bottom of the shoes here just so I can get good traction When I drive with my feet, I'm not only driving down into the floor, I'm driving out, away from me. That's why I need that traction on the bench, because I'm sliding that way with my feet pushing that way. So I just moisten them a little bit, drag them around a little bit, get them all nice and clean. Oh, that right foot's slipping just a little bit, like that, see? Doggone it. Wow, good day for benching. All right, so we are gonna try one more. This is 250. There we go. That was a 9. Maybe even a 9.5. Not sure, but that's what we needed today. It's just kind of a little grindy repetition. Moving on. We got the heavy single on safety bar squat done. Heavy single on bench press done. A little tour of the hub, our little community gym here. We're gonna move right back here and we gonna start deadlifting. Alrighty gang, so I thought I would spare you all of the warm-ups and just get right to it. So done my last warm-up. This is about my opener. 455. We're going for an RPE 9 today. Well, that felt pretty darn good. Well, I think I'm gonna have to go up. What do I go to? That's the next question. That was 455, that was my opener. I would jump to close to 500. I have not done 500 since last year. Might not be a good idea. 455 and a 10, a 2.5 is 470. I think we'll do that. We'll do 470 because I still got back downs to do, and I'll do the back downs with 1 minute of rest in between. You guys probably caught that in my last vlog. 470. Thought I'd show these bad boys off real quick. Christmas present from the wife. Man, I gotta admit, I'm a little nervous. Well, that was a 9 if I ever felt it. All right, success. Alrighty, let me talk about my thinking behind back down sets, because it's pretty multifaceted for me. First off, I'll be honest, I used to take way too long to get my back down work done. So now I time them. That way I can move quicker, I stay on task, and I actually finish them. Second, with coronary artery disease, I need to keep my cardiovascular fitness up. Shorter rest periods let me keep that anaerobic and cardiovascular work in the mix, even while I'm focused on strength. And finally, heavy singles don't really give me enough time doing the work to improve form. Back down sets, on the other hand, let me practice and reinforce good technique under load, and that's what carries over to the powerlifting platform. Holding form under heavy weights so I don't miss a lift due to breakdown. So that's why I value back down sets, efficiency, fitness, and technical reinforcement. They're not just a filler, they're one of the keys to progressing safely, keeping strong, and doing so consistently.